And now, Superhuman Shaq.
I keep telling them not to say that. I'm no superhuman. Believe it or not, I struggle with moderate obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. In adults with obesity, moderate to severe OSA is a condition where breathing is interrupted during sleep with loud snoring, choking, gasping for air, and even daytime fatigue. Let's just say it can sound a lot like this. Sound familiar? Learn more at don'tsleeponosa.com.
This information is provided by Lilly, a medicine company.
Sling is the live TV service that puts you in charge. Choose your plan. Orange for sports and entertainment favorites, blue for news and reality, or select for the essentials. Only pay for the stuff you actually watch. And pause your subscription anytime, because paying for TV you're not watching? Well, that's just rude. No long-term contracts, no nonsense. Pick your plan, add what you want. Sling lets you do that. Visit sling.com to learn more.
Clorox Toilet Wand, it's all in one. Clorox Toilet Wand, it's all in one.
Hey, what does all in one mean?
The caddy, the wand, the preloaded pad. There's a cleaner in there, inside the pad.
So Clorox Toilet Wand is all I need to clean a toilet?
You don't need a bottle of solution to get into this toilet revolution. Clorox, clean feels good.
Use as directed.
And what's going on, Los Angeles, Bruin Nation, LAFB fam? How we doing? The Madman here with you for all of your UCLA basketball needs. And first and foremost, before we jump into it, just want to wish you and your loved ones a very happy Thanksgiving and a joyous and memorable time. This is such a great time. Really, we're in the center of the holidays here. What a special time of the year. We're sort of on the back end of Halloween, a couple weeks until Christmas, and other wonderful celebrations at the end of the year, and just an opportunity to reflect on how grateful we all are to have people we care about in our lives. And so just want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you, and just the best wishes to our LAFB fans and our LAFB community and Bruin Nation on a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I would be accompanied by my partner in crime, my main man, Will the Thrill Decker, but he is on an airplane as we speak, going to St. Louis, Missouri to be with his beautiful family for the Thanksgiving break. So I figured, since I'm doing Thanksgiving local here in LA, we got all the grandparents, everybody lives in LA, so I don't have to travel nearly anywhere for Thanksgiving for the big festivities. Thought I'd jump on here and talk everything about our beloved Bruins. And so obviously this is a basketball episode for us here on the UCLA LAFB channel and the Bruin Bites, but really tough loss last night. The Bruins, 18th ranked Bruins, fall to the rival Cal Golden Bears, the rival Cal Golden Bears from the ACC. Still hard to say that, but 18th ranked Bruins fall to the Bears 80-72 in the beautiful Chase Center in San Francisco, in a very festive atmosphere there. Bruins, obviously, two really fun kind of rivalry games, the Intuit game, Intuit Dome game with Arizona, and now the Chase Center game with Cal. This victory for Cal under head coach Mark Madsen marks Cal's first victory over a top 25 opponent since February of 2020. So you're talking about nearly 5.5 years for Cal to beat a top 25 opponent. So program-defining win for Cal to upset our mighty Bruins here. And I think we have to kind of take a step back and assess this situation. Bruins now fall to 5-2 on the season. Tough ball game all around. Bruins jumped out to an 8-0 lead, and then it was sort of all downhill from there. Cal took a big lead early. It was back and forth. Bruins found a way to be up 5 at the half, and then within the first few minutes of the second half, Cal was able to separate. But even with UCLA ahead at the half, 41-36, it was an up-and-down game, really not played at a Mick Cronin-like tempo and style, and so you were always very concerned there. Bright spots in the game, Eric Daly Jr., who's really the lifeblood of this team, 17 points on 7 out of 15 shooting, and then Trent Perry, who had 17 on 5 out of 9. And then Xavier Booker has continued his strong play to start the season with 10. So 3 Bruins in double figures. But, granted, two big situations with this roster. One, Tyler Bilodeau with that knee sprain didn't play. So huge piece of the puzzle there, not playing. And then obviously Donovan Dent really looked hurt, after he got injured, kind of re-aggravating that lower leg injury over the course of the game, and really just didn't look right. 3 points on 1 out of 8 moving forward. And the Bruin depth just wasn't enough to sort of overcome those two key pieces. Cal ultimately shot 50% from 3, and en route versus only 32% for UCLA. And then, of course, UCLA's bugaboo, the free throws situation that's been kind of the case the last several years, 13 of 23 from the line, a mere 57%. And now we sit at 5-2 with now some tough games ahead. I mean, there's the Washington, Oregon back-to-back, and then, a game in Seattle against Gonzaga. So really things starting to get very difficult now in terms of the schedule moving forward. And, we got to take a pause back and assess. Bruins, were preseason number 12, really high expectations with Donovan Dent, the number 1 player in the transfer portal, and really that first true lead guard that has played at UCLA in the Mick Cronin era, and who Will and I both believe was UCLA's most talented pure point guard since Lonzo Ball nearly a decade ago. Bruins start the season preseason number 12, and considering the reported figure that Donovan Dent is making in terms of NIL and his package of $3 million over the course of this year, I think there was an expectation that UCLA was ranked too low at number 12. And I certainly loved the configuration of this roster. I was concerned about depth, and I was concerned about perimeter length to start this season, as Will and I had discussed. But in terms of role clarity between Dent at the 1, Skylar Clark at the 2, Daly at the 3, Bilodeau at the 4, Booker at the 5, and then you got kind of the microwave and Perry coming off the bench. You got Jamerson providing that length, and then Jamar Brown, that being your kind of top 8. I really like that, in terms of where this thing was headed. But obviously the way the loss occurred to Arizona personally kind of gave me questions. Number one, I know Will and I sort of talked about it, and Arizona, arguably is the best team in the country. So he said, hey, look, you took the best team in the country down to the wire there. No shame in that. But again, the way that team lost that game in terms of the offense stalling out, only 8 points in the last 7.5 minutes of this game, it was all too familiar in terms of the Cronin era. And then you follow it up with this game, really a game you should not have lost. To a less talented Cal team, quite frankly, and a Cal team that just programmatically, shouldn't be where UCLA is right now when you think about Mick Cronin and this being, his 6th, year within the program and really in a situation where, you got to be able to make that next step. And so, you sort of take a step back and we always felt that this was sort of a pivotal year in the Cronin era, right? I mean, his first year, of course, was that COVID year where things got cut short with COVID in that 2019-2020 season. Then, of course, the magical run, his second year, the 21 team from the first 4 to the final 4. And that created just, an epic sort of trajectory for him moving forward. Then, that team potentially, kind of runs it back, if you will. Juzang comes back. Jaquez comes back. Really, really high hopes. That team lost to North Carolina in the Sweet 16. Questionable rotation, questionable sort of roster management that year with Cronin. And, some of those conversations sort of started. Then, of course, you had that 23 team that I believe was maybe the best team UCLA has had since the Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook years of 2006 to 2008 with Aflalo and Jordan Farmar. That group of players from 06 to 08 and the 3 straight Final Fours under Ben Howland, that 23 team to me was ready to go head-to-head with UConn for the national championship. Unfortunately, Clark going down and Bona going down and really being down those 2 starters really hampered that team. And so Cronin, I think, really got a reprieve when you talk about year 4 there, because that was his ultimate team. And then you follow it up, obviously, the landscape of the sport significantly changing in 23-24 and the NIL war chest really needing to be in place. That's when Cronin made that famous line. He said, look, I don't know about the Yankees and the Red Sox. I think we're more like the Cincinnati Reds, which really kind of sent shockwaves through the system and the UCLA basketball ecosystem there. Bruins end up going 16-17 in 23-24, and then you bounce back last year in the 24-25 campaign. But again, early exit at the hands of a really good Tennessee team, but a team that I think you were hungry for more, and now that brings you in this situation. I went through it year 7 now of the Cronin era, and we're really expecting a huge jump. It's been 3 years removed from that 23 team. Is this the moment that Cronin can take the next jump? And you got to be honest right now, it's just the same story over the last few years of a team that, the defensive intensity is really where the focus is, but a team that is lost from an offensive system perspective, lost down the stretch of games. Everything is just pure ISO. There's no imagination. There's no movement. There's no creativity offensively. There's no confidence offensively down the stretch. Again, UCLA teams that build first half leads, blow those leads in the second half because of the lack of offensive clarity. And then you couple that with poor free throw shooting yet again, and Cronin just continuing to dig his heels into these players and really kind of challenging their toughness, challenging their manhood, challenging their commitment to the defensive side of the ball. And I think creating a culture that is very intense. And I think if you're old school, you sort of appreciate it. But I think in this day and age, it seems like it's over the top. And I think we have to sort of take a step back and say, is Mick Cronin the right guy for UCLA basketball moving forward? I mean, I think we're there in terms of at least bringing up that question. And I sort of go back to that viral video. And if you haven't checked it out, you should, on YouTube, kind of a fun, casual, viral video between Baron Davis, UCLA's own.
Tired of drafty windows and rising energy bills? Well, now is the perfect time to get beautiful replacement windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, get no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 24 months with a minimum of 6. That's right, 2 full years to enjoy warmer rooms, lower bills, and beautiful new windows without paying a dime up front. Visit renewalbyandersen.com to schedule your free consultation today. Hurry, this offer ends December 1st.
The best TV comes in many forms, from real-life mysteries to blockbuster dramas, family favorites, and buzzworthy reality shows. Philo makes it easy to stream them all with one simple, affordable subscription. For just $33 a month, Philo offers more than 70 live channels, including favorites like AMC, A&E, MTV, Discovery, and Nickelodeon, plus on-demand TV like the entire AMC Plus library. Whatever the mood, there's always something new to uncover. Philo subscribers also get access to HBO Max Basic with ads and Discovery Plus at no extra cost, along with unlimited DVR that saves shows for up to a year. No long contracts, no complicated setup, just endless entertainment ready to stream anytime. Ready for a better way to bundle all the TV you love? Get started at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Your next obsession is waiting.
Baron Davis and Gilbert Arenas. And Gilbert Arenas was talking about, obviously, his son, Elijah, who ultimately picked USC. Elijah obviously went through a number of different challenges this year, and we wish him all the very best. And a 100% speedy recovery and a great college career and beyond in the professional rankings. And Baron was kind of joking with Gilbert and saying, why would you send your son to USC when you got the blue blood UCLA over here? And why would you do that? And, the response, obviously, it was very sort of casual and colloquial, and it was fun in games, and they were sort of at a club. But, Gilbert and Kenyon Martin, ex-NBA All-Star Kenyon Martin jumped in and said, look, this has to do with Mick Cronin. And the 5-star player of today, particularly in California, does not resonate with this hard charging style of Mick Cronin. And we're seeing it. I mean, I was so disappointed that Taj Ariza, Trevor's son, and Trevor, UCLA Bruin, and someone who's very involved in, the LA sports landscape, someone who's very involved, proud Bruin, the fact that his son didn't go to UCLA and ended up choosing, to go to Oregon was crushing. And I think it spoke volumes that the sons of great UCLA players and the sons of Bruins don't want to go to UCLA, even though UCLA has the ultimate history of any other school when it comes to basketball. We are the ultimate blue blood. We are not a blue blood. We are the blue blood. And still, as a result of that, with the Los Angeles media market, with everything that UCLA has to offer in terms of campus, with everything that UCLA has to offer in terms of academics and the pedigree, the fact that these guys are not going to UCLA, it speaks to a lack of relatability that Mick Cronin has with the top-end talent of this state. And while it is commendable in my mind that Mick's philosophy, whether it was at Cincinnati or his previous stops, was to take the 3-star players and really mold them and shape them and coach them hard and really elevate their toughness and elevate their defensive intensity, to me, all very commendable things. But I think there's two fundamental challenges there. One is I don't think that hard-charging style resonates with the top-end talent, particularly in the state like we talked about. And number two, I think there's a ceiling. I think there's a ceiling to how good your program can be. And I think I think of the analogy in terms of the Miami Heat back in 2006, the year that Shaq and Dwayne Wade won their championship. And the coach during the regular season was Stan Van Gundy. And Pat Riley ultimately had to make a swap for himself at the end of that season to get them to play in the way and to ultimately get them to elevate and win a championship. And his rationale was there's certain coaches that are really good program builders. There's certain coaches that can take a lottery team in the NBA and make them a perennial playoff team. There's certain coaches in college that can take a lesser program and make them a perennial NCAA tournament team. But then there's other coaches. It's a different skill set altogether to take those perennial contenders and turn them into champions. And Pat Riley had that skill. Phil Jackson had that skill, of course, famously. And I think we have to sort of take a step back and have an honest assessment here that Mick Cronin did some amazing things at Cincinnati, but is he a guy that can take kind of a lesser program and elevate them to be a consistent contender? And is that his limitation? Is that his ceiling? Is that his niche? Or is he a guy that can truly take a contender and make them a perennial champion the way you think about Duke, the way you think about Kentucky, the way you think about UConn now, the way you think about Florida? Can he make that next step? And I have to be honest with you, at this point, I'm very skeptical. I don't know. And I'm going to need to see more evidence, because I don't believe that Mick Cronin, as crazy as this is to say, is the answer for UCLA basketball moving forward to be that championship team that we want them to be. Is he a very good coach? Absolutely. Does he know how to coach defense? No question about it. Does he have the respect of his players? Yes, he does. But are there fundamental limitations? I think his personality can be overbearing. His lack of offensive intelligence is alarming. And I don't know if he also kind of represents the values of UCLA moving forward either, as a guy who's out there super demonstrative, barking at the referees, barking at his own players, running his players under the bus in press conferences after the game. So I think we have to take a step back. Now, there's a lot more going on at UCLA in terms of the athletic department and the football program and even the university at large. So there's going to be sort of, I think, a pecking order of decisions to be had here. And I think we want to still be able to give Cronin the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, he didn't have Bilodeau last night. Dent was compromised. So if Bilodeau comes back and Dent kind of finds his niche, I think, and gets healthy, both physically but also mentally. I think Dent coming in here with all of the hype and the hoopla to be sitting at 11 points a game, 36% shooting, it's not aligning with the expectations. This is a guy that averaged 20 a game last year. Now granted it was in the Mountain West, but to go from 20 to 11 and to go from 20 to 11 on 36% shooting, either Donovan Dent is really, really hurt and we're sort of underselling it and we're just not aware to the extent of the injury, or Donovan Dent is having a hard time really being himself and unlocking all of his capabilities in a Mick Cronin system. So, I wanted to jump on here and would love to get your thoughts, Bruin Nation, on where we stand on Mick Cronin. I'm really hoping for the best. I'm leaning forward this year and expecting big things and hoping that Cronin can turn around because he usually does. But again, is he the guy that can take this team ultimately to a national championship? And when you step inside the famed Pauley Pavilion and you look up at those banners, it's 11 national championships. There's no banners that have been hung for Final Fours. There are no banners that have been hung for conference championships. There are no banners that have been hung for regular season championships. It is national championship or bust at UCLA. That is the expectation, and that's what it should be. And given that expectation, is Mick Cronin the right guy for the job? So, fans, always appreciate your love and support. It would mean the world to us to hit that like and subscribe button. We're continuing to grow the channel. We care so deeply about UCLA sports. And before I leave, got to pay the bills around here. You see the Sleeper app down below, #1 sports app in the country today, that Sleeper app. You got real-time chat. You got real-time news feeds. You got huge engagement opportunities, fully immersive chat, fully experiential application here, the Sleeper app. Tell them the guys from the LAFB network sent you. You get $100 off your match bonus. That means you put in 100, you get 100 for free. 100 becomes 200, and you can really look at different lines. You can look at different over-unders. You can look at different parlays. Just a fully immersive, integrated experience. And tell them the guys from the LAFB network sent you, and hit that promo code UCLA LAFB and get yourself started. So, folks, again, wishing you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving. Just wanted to get on and talk all things UCLA basketball. Let's hope that Cronin can get this thing turned around. The next 3 games are going to be very telling, but we got to watch with a skeptical eye, and we got to keep him accountable, because remember, the standard for UCLA basketball is second to none. And if he's not meeting that standard, we got to let him know, and we got to let everybody know. And as always, be loud, be proud, be passionate, Bruins. And like I always say, 4's up forever, baby.
Tired of drafty windows and rising energy bills? Well, now is the perfect time to get beautiful replacement windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, get no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 24 months with a minimum of 6. That's right, 2 full years to enjoy warmer rooms, lower bills, and beautiful new windows without paying a dime up front. Visit renewalbyandersen.com to schedule your free consultation today. Hurry, this offer ends December 1st.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
The best TV comes in many forms, from real-life mysteries to blockbuster dramas, family favorites, and buzzworthy reality shows. Philo makes it easy to stream them all with one simple, affordable subscription. For just $33 a month, Philo offers more than 70 live channels, including favorites like AMC, A&E, MTV, Discovery, and Nickelodeon, plus on-demand TV like the entire AMC Plus library. Whatever the mood, there's always something new to uncover. Philo subscribers also get access to HBO Max Basic with ads and Discovery Plus at no extra cost, along with unlimited DVR that saves shows for up to a year. No long contracts, no complicated setup, just endless entertainment ready to stream anytime. Ready for a better way to bundle all the TV you love? Get started at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Your next obsession is waiting.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.